Wait, stop zipping that suitcase. Seriously, if you think you can just throw some random stuff into your carry-on, walk into the airport, and glide through security like it's still 2019, you are about to have a very bad day. Welcome to 2026. The scanners are smarter, the rules are tighter, the fines are higher, and the list of totally normal items that can get you pulled aside, questioned, or flat-out fined at the airport has gotten weird. I'm not talking about guns or explosives. That part is obvious. I'm talking about your vitamins, your portable phone charger, and yes, even that piece of jewelry I circled in the thumbnail. Why could a gummy bear you take to sleep get you treated like a serious drug offender in another country? Why would an airline force you to destroy your expensive smart suitcase right there at the gate while everyone watches? And how does a $5 item turn into a bill that costs more than your plane ticket? Today, we're breaking down the 10 carry-on items that can get you fined or arrested in 2026. This is an airport insider guide. Not rumors, not TikTok myths. Real situations happening to real travelers every single day. And stay with me until the end, because item number 1 is something you've probably tossed into your backpack without a second thought. Let's get into it. Item number 10. Medications, vitamins, and the Ziploc bag mistake. Stop packing your meds in sketchy little Ziploc bags. Seriously. What you think is saving space, Border Control often sees as a drug trafficking starter kit. It's 2026, and unlabeled pills are no longer a minor inconvenience. They're a red flag. In Japan, travelers have watched hundreds of dollars worth of vitamins, supplements, and skincare products get dumped straight into the trash for one simple reason: no original bottle, no label, no discussion. The rule is brutal. If there's no official labeling, you're not organizing. You're gambling with your entry into the country. And then there's Dubai. Dubai is the final boss. A traveler was recently flagged just for transiting through the airport because a prescription medication in their bag appeared on the United Arab Emirates banned list. Here's the part that messes with people's heads. If it shows up in your bloodstream, it can be treated as possession. Let that sink in. You can face serious trouble not just for what's in your bag, but for what's already inside your body. One emergency landing, one weather diversion, and suddenly you're under a completely different legal system than the one you planned for. Quick insider tip: check the Ministry of Health and Prevention website before you fly. Not after, and not just for your destination. For your possible transit countries, too. And the headache doesn't stop with pills. Medical ice packs? Absolute magnets for TSA delays. If that pack turns slushy or half-melted, expect questions. One traveler only avoided confiscation by pulling out old boarding passes to prove how long they'd been traveling. So, here's the survival move. Keep your prescriptions, receipts, and travel documents together. Don't bury them. Don't scroll frantically through your phone while an officer waits, because the fastest way through security is proof, not explanations. Do not let a bottle of Advil turn into a criminal record. I'm curious, though. Has anyone here actually had their meds or supplements confiscated at customs? Drop your horror stories in the comments. But if you think this was stressful, wait until item number 9. It's a $300 gadget the airline might force you to destroy right at the gate. Item number 9. Smart luggage and the gate check nightmare. You know that sleek, bougie, smart suitcase you bought to flex a little at the airport? The one with the built-in charger, the tracking app, the futuristic vibe? Yeah, that bag is now basically a VIP pass to chaos. Here's how the nightmare usually starts. You're boarding. Zone 4 gets called, and suddenly the gate agent grabs the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now requiring all remaining carry-on bags to be gate-checked. Instant panic. Because here's the trap most people don't realize until it's already too late. In 2026, airline policy is brutally simple. If the battery doesn't come out, the bag doesn't go down. No exceptions, no debates, no, but it flew last time. People always ask, why is my phone allowed but my suitcase isn't? Simple. A lithium fire in the cabin can be handled. A lithium fire in the cargo hold at 30,000 feet. That's a catastrophe. And you do not want to be that passenger on their knees at the jet bridge, frantically digging through a suitcase, trying to pry out a battery while the agent just stares at you in silence. Forget the TSA approved sticker. It means nothing at the gate. If that battery can't be ejected in about 3 seconds flat, you're facing two choices: destroy the bag or miss the flight. I've seen travelers forced to rip apart a $400 suitcase while everyone behind them watched. That's not airport security. That's public humiliation. Airport insider tip: before you even think about packing, test the battery removal. Not gently, not carefully. Pretend you're stressed, late, and being watched by 50 people. If it doesn't come out instantly, don't bring the bag. Some frequent travelers are going fully old school now, shipping luggage by ground services a week early and walking through security with nothing but a backpack. No drama, no gate roulette. Because smart luggage isn't smart if it turns into a very expensive mistake. And while we're on the subject of electronics, airlines absolutely hate. Item number 8 fits in your pocket, but plugging it in at your seat is basically a crime. Item number 8. Vapes, e-cigarettes, and the pocket-sized problem. For a lot of travelers, flying right now feels like navigating a minefield. You see a harmless little device. Security sees a fire hazard. Customs sees contraband. Vapes are one of the fastest ways to ruin a trip before it even starts. And here's the mistake people keep making. They assume airport rules are universal. They are not. In places like Thailand and Singapore, bringing a vape can genuinely land you in jail, get you fined, or get you deported. No warning. No, I didn't know. They do not play. Even in popular destinations like Mexico, travelers have had devices confiscated on the spot and walked away with fines that cost more than their return ticket. We've seen entire vacations destroyed at Cancun over a couple of disposable pods, but it doesn't stop at customs. On the plane, this is non-negotiable. Never charge your vape at your seat. The Federal Aviation Administration strictly forbids it because lithium batteries can overheat. The second you plug it in, you don't look like a passenger anymore. You look like a safety threat. And if you're thinking about sneaking a puff in the bathroom, don't. Modern smoke detectors are way better than people think. Getting caught means a massive fine, and in some cases, a permanent ban from that airline. Is a quick hit really worth never flying that carrier again? The smartest move for travel days? Switch to nicotine pouches or patches. Unless you are 100% sure about the local laws, leave the hardware at home. Because ignorance doesn't protect you at customs. And if you think vapes are strict, wait until you see item number 7. It's the gadget everyone packs to keep their phone alive. But bring the wrong one, and TSA will toss it in the trash without a second thought. Item number 7. Power banks and battery math. Nobody explains. We all know that feeling. You glance at your phone. 1% battery. No outlet in sight. So you pack a power bank the size of a brick. Something that looks like it could jumpstart a car. And that's where the trouble starts. Security isn't just looking at shapes on an X-ray screen anymore. They care about how much energy that battery is actually storing. Here's the math you need to survive airports in 2026. Under 100 watt-hours? You're in the green zone. Between 100 and 160 watt-hours? That's the gray zone. Most airlines allow up to 2, but technically you're supposed to get approval. Over 160 watt-hours? Don't even bring it. It's banned. No negotiation. And here's the part that catches people off guard. Just because it flew internationally doesn't mean it's allowed domestically. A traveler recently flew from Madrid to Wenzhou with a 20,000 milliamp battery. No problem. But on the domestic hop to Shanghai? Confiscated. Why? It didn't have a specific safety marking required for domestic flights. Same bag, same battery. Different terminal. That's how fast the rules can change. But the most common killer isn't size, it's the label. If an agent flips your power bank over and the watt-hour rating is faded, scratched off, or impossible to read, they are not going to Google it for you. No label means one thing: the trash bin. People always worry about laptops, but relax. There's a reason the largest MacBook Pro battery is rated at 99.6 watt-hours. Apple didn't guess. They engineered it to stay exactly under the limit, 0.4 of a unit away from being classified as a dangerous item. They know the rules better than we do. The real danger is those massive third-party power bricks. Check your batteries now. If the text is gone, replace it, because if battery math annoys you, item number 6 is going to feel personal. It's a flying toy you love. But many airports treat it like a spy plane. Item number 6. Drones and the flying camera trap. Let's talk about that flying camera sitting in your bag right now. You see it as a creative tool, a way to capture the landscape, a quick cinematic shot for memories. A lot of countries see something very different. Once you cross certain borders, your drone isn't a hobby anymore. It's classified as aviation equipment. And that shift changes everything. Egypt is the ultimate cautionary tale. Flying a drone near heritage sites like the pyramids is considered a major security violation. Local authorities don't mess around. You're looking at immediate confiscation, heavy fines, and a level of questioning that completely kills the vibe of your trip. You're not just losing a gadget, you're inviting attention you really don't want. Then there's India, which isn't about spies so much as bureaucracy. In many cases, you're expected to apply for permission online before you even board your flight. If you land without the right paperwork, say goodbye to your drone. Customs will likely seize it, and getting it back is a maze of red tape most travelers never escape. And don't think you can outsmart the scanners by burying it in your laundry. The moment it looks like you tried to hide it, you lose the "I didn't know" defense. Now it's not ignorance, it's intent, and intent turns a mistake into a smuggling charge. The smarter move: check international drone laws using an app before you pack. Or better yet, if you really need aerial shots, hire a local drone operator when you arrive. You'll save time, stress, and keep your record clean. We've covered the cameras buzzing overhead. Now let's talk about the ones hiding right in front of your face. Item number 5 gives serious James Bond energy, but border security treats it like actual espionage. Item number 5. Spy gadgets, smart glasses, and hidden cameras. We all like feeling a little futuristic. Smart glasses, recording pens, tiny cameras hidden in everyday objects. At home, it's cool tech. At the wrong border, it's a problem. In many countries, especially places with strict privacy laws, these devices aren't seen as gadgets. They're seen as surveillance equipment. In Saudi Arabia, for example, importing concealed recording devices is tightly controlled and in some cases outright banned. In China, unusual electronics often trigger secondary screening. Authorities there don't care that you're a content creator or that it's just for fun. To them, it's a potential security risk. And here's the thing people don't understand. You can't fool physics. On an X-ray, a pen shouldn't have a battery, wiring, and a circuit board inside. A pair of reading glasses shouldn't light up with electronics. When scanners see technology hidden inside an object that shouldn't have it, that's an instant red flag. Best case scenario? Your expensive gear gets confiscated. Worst case? You're explaining to a very serious customs officer why you're carrying covert recording devices into their country. It's awkward, it's expensive, and it's a terrible way to start a trip. Rule of thumb? If it looks like spy gear, leave it at home. You're a tourist, not a secret agent. All right, enough James Bond. Let's pivot to something that looks harmless and, honestly, kind of delicious. Item number 4 is something people pack to help them sleep. But in parts of Asia, it's treated with the same severity as hard narcotics. Item number 4. CBD, sleep gummies, and the wellness trap. We need to kill a huge myth right now. That label on your sleep gummies that says 0% THC? In many international airports, that sticker is legally meaningless. You bring CBD for good vibes. Customs brings chemical scanners that have absolutely zero chill. These machines don't care about your organic branding, your influencer discount code, or the cute wellness label. They detect molecular structures. And in places like Japan, Indonesia, and the United Arab Emirates, the law is brutally simple. It's either legal or you're in serious trouble. There is no "my back hurts" clause. There is no medical exception. There is no warning. One of the most chilling cases involved a traveler in Bali who brought a small amount of CBD oil specifically for arthritis pain. No intent to sell. No criminal history. Still, he suddenly found himself facing headlines about a possible multi-year prison sentence in a system where a doctor's note means absolutely nothing. That's the part people don't grasp. Your intentions don't matter. Your pain doesn't matter. Your label doesn't matter. All that matters is what the scanner detects. Do not gamble years of your life just to sleep better on a flight. If you're not 100% certain, and in most of these countries you really can't be, dump it before security. Now, while CBD gets people in trouble for what they take out of a country, the next trap is about what you bring back. It's a cheap souvenir that looks cool, feels futuristic, and makes security instantly nervous. Item number 3. Plasma arc lighters and cool souvenirs. Plasma arc lighters are undeniably cool. They're basically miniature lightsabers. No flame, just instant, intense heat. And that's exactly why airports hate them. Unlike a power bank that just sits there, this gadget is designed to create heat on demand. Security rules around these are very specific. In checked bags, hard no. In carry-on luggage, technically allowed, but with a massive catch. They must have a specialized safety latch that prevents accidental activation. Security needs to be completely confident that your lighter won't turn on and torch your backpack mid-flight. Here's the problem. Safe is subjective. One traveler had theirs confiscated simply because an agent decided the latch felt a little loose. That's it. End of discussion. You are never going to win a debate about engineering specs in the security line. If you try, you will lose, and you will miss your flight. And if you're flying to or through China, don't even bother. Many airports there have a zero-tolerance policy for all lighters. It's getting tossed. No appeal, no explanation. So ask yourself this. Why invite the scrutiny? Why carry a $50 gadget that acts like a giant "Inspect Me" sign for security, when a disposable lighter does the same job? Sometimes high-tech just means high hassle. And losing a lighter is annoying. But now we're getting to the part everyone clicked for. I know a lot of you saw that expensive watch circled in the thumbnail. So why on earth is it banned? The answer is item number 2. And getting it wrong can cost you thousands of dollars. Item number 2. Fake luxury items and the "it's just a bag" mistake. Take a look at what you're wearing right now. That watch, that bracelet, that designer-looking handbag. If you picked it up at a night market, a street stall, or from a too good to be true seller, you might be traveling with a legal problem you haven't even thought about. That expensive watch in the thumbnail? It's there for a reason. Counterfeit luxury items used to be a problem for shipping containers and bulk smugglers. Not anymore. Countries like France and Italy are now cracking down on individual travelers. Landing in Paris or Milan with a super fake Louis Vuitton isn't just a fashion mistake. Travelers have faced on-the-spot confiscation and fines that climb into the thousands. And it's not just Europe. United States Customs has been ramping this up too, arguing that buying and importing fakes funnels money into criminal networks. This has sparked a massive debate. Some travelers feel it's government overreach, that digging through personal luggage for a knockoff purse crosses a line. Others, especially older travelers, are genuinely worried. They buy shoes because they're comfortable, not because they recognize every logo. They're asking a fair question. How are regular people supposed to know what's real and what's fake? Unfortunately, Customs doesn't care about your intent. They don't care if you didn't know. If an agent decides the logo is counterfeit, it's treated as a real customs violation, not a harmless mistake. The bottom line? Fake luxury items are now a legal risk, not just a quality risk. If you didn't buy it from a reputable store, the safest move is to leave it at home when you cross a border, unless you enjoy making an involuntary donation to the French government. And if getting fined for a purse sounds wild, item number 1 is worse. It's something many people buy for self-defense, but airport security treats it as an offensive weapon. Item number 1. Harmless tools that airports see as weapons. We finally made it to number 1. And no, we're not talking about guns or explosives. We're talking about the everyday items sitting in your bag right now. Things you see as tools. Things you see as harmless. Airport security often sees them as disguised weapons, and that definition is way broader than most people realize. A tactical pen, a souvenir throwing star, a small multi-tool. You might think, come on, that's ridiculous. Security doesn't care. If an item looks purpose-built to cause harm, intent doesn't matter. Cultural context matters more than logic. In the United States, walking around with a Leatherman might not raise an eyebrow. In places like London, that tiny locking blade can be treated as an offensive weapon and land you in serious trouble. And sometimes the stories get downright absurd. One traveler bought a soldering iron in the UK, a purely technical tool. Heathrow security treated the pointed tip like a prison shank. Confiscated. No argument. Another traveler transiting through Dubai was forced to surrender a brand new Stanley tape measure. Yes, a tape measure. Apparently, in the wrong hands, it's not for measuring furniture. It's a tactical threat. But the most mind-bending case involves hiking sticks. A female traveler was told that as long as she was physically leaning on the stick, it counted as a mobility aid and was perfectly fine. The second she folded it up and put it in her backpack, suddenly it wasn't medical equipment anymore. Now it was a bludgeon. Same object, same airport, different grip. That's the lesson. Stop trying to apply common sense to airport security rules. It doesn't work. Ignorance won't save your gear. Logic won't save your time. Here's the rule you should actually follow. If it has a point, a blade, or enough weight to hurt someone, check it. Don't let a tape measure, a multi-tool, or a soldering iron be the reason your trip falls apart. Pack smart, not scared. I know. After that list, it probably feels like the only safe things to pack are a pair of socks and a positive attitude. But the goal isn't to scare you. The goal is to help you move through airports smoothly, confidently, without getting pulled aside over something ridiculous. Most airport disasters don't start with big obvious mistakes. They start with tiny assumptions. A vitamin bottle, a charger, a souvenir. And suddenly, You're standing there watching an agent drop your stuff into a bin, or explaining yourself in a language you barely speak. So learn the rules before you pack, not while you're being questioned. Now, I want to hear from you. What's the most ridiculous thing you've ever had confiscated at an airport? Was it a tool? A supplement? Something that made absolutely no sense? Drop your story in the comments. You are not alone. And if this video saved you a fine, saved you a delay, or just saved your sanity, hit like and subscribe. Safe travels, and I'll see you in the next one.